with your host for the evening and slash tech guy. Please give a round of applause, a big one, for George Tarabay!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely turnout tonight. It's cozy. It's one-on-one. So we're going to turn it into the therapy session. So if you have anything you want to get off your chest, go outside and fucking speak to yourself. Nobody cares in here. We're here to do comedy. How are you guys? What's the furthest anybody has traveled to be here tonight? Milton. Oh my God, you're so brave. You made it all the way here across the 403? Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Where did you come from? Grimsby. Jesus. You must really love comedy. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I have a couple of announcements for you guys. One being, welcome to CFTA, the Center for Talking Arts. This is a place that is sincerely dear to my heart. It's because places like these don't exist nowadays. A place where you can just walk in, speak your mind, and you'll be on your merry way. So a big round of applause for CFTA for really supporting the arts of the talking in Ontario. Also, we have some nice merch. Me wearing one. You can get your t-shirts. You can see them at the bar. We also have food. We have drinks, so grab whatever you want. No pressure, but go get it. But no pressure, but go get it. All right? No pressure. We also have shows lined up next week in here. I think we have the Storytellers Night next Friday. First Friday in June, we have a Storytellers Night. It's an incredible night. People come and share really incredible stories. It's hosted by Mike Durbecker, if you know him. He's a really good storyteller and a really great host. Probably better at this than what I'm doing right now. What else? What else? Yeah, so welcome to CFTA. This concludes the proportion of announcements. The King was here. I don't know if you noticed. The King of England. He paid us a visit. And that's the odd thing, because nobody felt his presence, which is ironic, because this is what Princess Diana died for, because that's how she felt. Yeah. Like you saw his speech. It was very sincere, especially for an old guy reading out of a paper, you know, like it was very from the heart, not at all prepared. And you know what's the thing that fucked me up the most about that speech is the guy or the king. Yeah, like his mom hoarded the word sovereign for too long that now when he said it's my first visit to Canada as sovereign, it felt a little gay. You know what I mean? It's because his mom hoarded the word for 80 years. Like when you think sovereign, you think, oh, old lady, white hair, green dress, her, right? But the thing that messed me up the most and the thing that really fucking blew me out of the water is the King of England. Okay, so hear me out. The King of England started the speech by acknowledging the land, that we're standing on land for, First Nations. And he then thanks them for welcoming him and his family. It's like, motherfucker, 200 years ago. Nobody welcomed you, just barged in, And right now they're like, all right, he lives here now, I guess, so you're welcome. It's just, I think First Nations are kind of like, all right, whatever, like you're here now. What are you gonna do? And I saw the room in the Senate where they were having the speech, and there was a lot of First Nation chiefs sitting there with with all the. And I was hoping one of them would just get up and like axe him or something, It felt like that because they were all looking at him like, you motherfucker. Yeah, and the Queen was there. The Queen consent, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, consort. She was there. I don't know why. And people say, her role is ceremonial, as if King Charles is making great decisions for Canada, like he's really out there, fighting for the middle class. And you know how fucking stupid it sounds for a king, a sovereign, again, to stand there and just read a speech and then say, we're giving you tax cuts. An average family is going to save $800 a year. And this motherfucker is wearing like medallions that cost more than my house. So you're saving me $800. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Please do come often and try to be in a Mercedes-Benz next time in a tunnel. So yeah, that's the fucking like, that's our king, man. That's the head of state. That's the head of state. We still have a king. 2025. We never see him. It's a big they made a big fuss about it. Since 70 years, 40 years, whatever. Who cares? Honestly, they're like, it's been 40 years since the sovereign, again, gay, gave opened up parliament. Which sounds shitty, If you say like, oh yeah, my dad is coming back for the first time in 40 years, you don't celebrate that. You have questions. Like, well, where have you been, motherfucker? Like, do you see the orange clown that's trying to fuck with us? And now you appear? So yeah, this concludes the political segment from this night. I'm gonna introduce the first comic. Are you ready? Are you ready? So this guy is a living proof that if you leave a ventriloquist dummy on the Goodwill shelf for enough time, it will start developing opinions. Please help me welcome this fucking guy, Alfonso.
Thank you, everybody. Alrighty. Small crowd tonight, but that's even better. Alrighty. So it turns out that my therapist isn't a therapist. Yeah, no, there was a spelling mistake. He's not a therapist, he's the rapist. Probably explains why he wanted me to do all my sessions blindfolded and with my mouth open. Those weren't hot dogs. So I have a not-so-secret to tell all you guys. I'm actually dead inside. I'm so dead inside that the last time I performed, the host said that I looked like a ventriloquist dummy. And I am a ventriloquist dummy. I was brought to life by a magical wizard, just like Pinocchio, except every time I lie, my dick grows. Right now I'm pushing 18 inches, so ladies. But no, being dead inside has its benefits. Nothing gets under my skin anymore. I lost my job. My car breaks down. Grandma died. Someone says my dick smelled weird. Hey now, that's where I draw the line. So I've lived with my parents for pretty well my entire life, and I've gotten to see the phases of fatherhood through my dad. It starts out, they're young, they're chipper, they go to work, they come home, they talk to their family, rinse and repeat. And then they do this for years and years and years and years. And then one day, they retire. And after that, they sit and watch TV. You get up in the morning, they're watching TV. You go to bed at night, they're watching TV. Eventually, they start slowly sinking further and further into the chair until one day you wake up and they're gone. They've gone into the couch realm, where the only things are chairs, recliners, lazy boys, TVs, and retired dads. Sitting, watching TV until the end of time. So recently, I've been watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, and after Toronto's loss, I've been cheering against Florida. But I've gotten so frustrated cheering for Carolina that I've written a song about it. Does anyone want to hear it? Yeah. Yeah, alrighty. Let me get my beautiful music set up. And some karaoke.
Are we going to have to go bump at any point?
If you want, this is a sing-along. Alrighty. when it began. It looked like you could beat them, but then I know Florida is strong. Started 1-0, then became 2-0. After that, my hope was gone. Hands, with my hands, I'm reaching out, wanting to strangle you. Sweet Carolina, you miss so many frickin' goals. I should have believed you would never win. I look at the score, and it didn't seem so hopeful when you were down by only 2. And no, it hurts. The hurt stays on my shoulder. It hurts when I cheer for you. Goal. Couldn't get a goal. Lost the game. Lost for me, lost for you. Sweet Carolina, you sucked harder than I did in therapy. I should have put my money on the Panthers. Oh, no, no. Yeah, thank you. Sweet Carolina, you miss so many frickin' goals. Sweet Carolina, I almost believed you could win. Sweet Carolina, your playing was never good. I'm inclined to never cheer for you again. Oh, no, no, no. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience.
Give it up for Alfonso. Geppetto called. He wants you home by 12, please. That was good. Sweet Caroline, the song for people who peaked in 2007. It's a good choice, really. Ba 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 does sound like therapy. Like, you know, it's very, very therapeutic. Yeah? Ba ba ba. Good. Good. Was it sweet? All right, good. I'm happy for you, man. Get yours. Don't let people stop you from getting whatever the fuck you want. Okay, are you ready for your next comic? So, something I forgot to mention. On 4 minutes, I'm going to light you up, and then you have 1 minute to wrap up, or in his case, rape up. It doesn't matter. So, when I light you up, you have 1 more minute. So the next guy is one of my favorites here. I've seen him perform twice. Really good. He's been kicked out of a cult because he was too weird. If the guy who sacrifices children tells you that you're too weird, you're doing something wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, help me welcome Kobe Durst.
Kind of an awkward handoff, but we'll make do. I've been smoking a lot of reefer in the bushes recently, but enough about me. Onto the. I wonder what do you think the kids are playing with these days, toys-wise? You don't have to answer, that's okay. For me, it was Beyblades. We used to play Beyblades a lot. You guys, let her rip. Yeah, classic. And we would play for keeps. They had bit pieces, and you assemble them. So you would gamble in like the 3rd grade with your pieces. And I remember one day, one of my classmates, he lost he lost all his Beyblades, and he went home and he killed himself. And he killed himself. And in lieu of flowers, we gave him his stupid toy back. Oh, yeah. I've been in the bushes smoking a lot of dope. There's a lot of inchworms. You see the inchworms these days. And they kind of they look at you like they do this. You guys seen them? Just like, what's up, man? Yeah. And they love it. They smoke dope with me or whatever, and it's just me and them and the Beyblades, fucking just letting her rip. And it's that season again. You see a lot of the women with the scented dog poop bags walking around. Maybe you've seen them. I can't imagine that. There's something about the combination of the scented dog shit bag and the dog shit that you'll watch them walk by a public garbage bin. You'll watch them walk. It's garbage day. They'll walk by 5 private garbage bins, yard waste bags, and they just keep fucking swinging it along. It's probably a texture thing. They probably get home and just feel. Cause you want to tell them, just get Play-Doh and put it in saran wrap or something, ladies. It's too much. Oh, man. We were smoking in the back of my car at the Toys R Us, and around 11 p.m., and the cop was waiting for us because that was our spot. And he goes, hey, fellas, what are you guys doing here? And I looked at him in his eyes, and I said, well, we're just here to work out, officer. He said, what? Well, it's long pavement strip here. We like to come here at 11 p.m. and just do wind sprints. And he goes, oh, well, show me. So me and my buddies got out, and we ran to the end of the parking lot, and by the time we came back, he had left. So I was pretty lucky. Oh, what else was I was probably gonna say something about inchworms, dog shit. I think that was probably enough of me. I've been Kobe Durst, and I recently escaped the cult. Thanks a lot.
Give it up for Kobe!
Yes, so not only did the king come here, but still hung up on that, by the way. We have to pay for the whole fucking trip. Do you know that? It's coming out of our own pockets. Yeah. Yeah, because apparently, like, your net worth is just like a mansion and like a diamond mine. We're like, hey, you want french fries with that? We'll pay for it. Don't worry about it, sir. Yeah, a mansion. Exactly. Yeah, for guys who came in late, welcome. Can we get you anything? Water, food, maybe a fucking clock? Just saying. That could work, right? Yeah, so we were discussing the king's visit to Canada and how that turned out. Turned out great, we all agree. It was very necessary. It helped boost our economy, our self-confidence as Canadians. You know, we're all elbows up right now, right? And I made a really bad taste joke about Princess Diana, which I don't regret, by the way. He didn't go into her tunnel, she went into one. Yeah. All right, now we're out. All right, I think I'm out of sovereign jokes, again, very gay. I'm gonna introduce the next comic. Are you ready? Let's get the energy up in the room. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the next comic is a personal friend of mine. I've known him for 15 years, across continents, across countries. We lived in Kuwait together. And recently he got a haircut, so he's ready for TSA at the border, in case they want to, you know, ship him off to El Salvador. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome with a big round of applause my dear friend Ayman Nasor.
Thank you, George. One more round for our host, everyone. So, as George just mentioned, I recently came back from a trip, and I'll be honest, it was not that much fun. It was not that much fun because airlines continue to find ways to fuck us. Allow me to elaborate. Before, when we used to fly in economy, we always used to feel really bad as we walked past business class and see where we could have been if, you know, if you go by George's jokes, if our parents had molested us. And we always used to be happy when we sit in economy, when we would get the God upgrade, where, you know, the person next to you just decides not to show up to the flight. Now, it could have been a personal emergency, they could have died, they could have been a terrorist, they could have been stopped at the, you know, counter, but we relished that free upgrade. Now, it's no longer free. You can bid for it. And I did just that. I bid for an upgrade, and I felt like a king, where I can sleep across 3 seats. But the problem is, I'm flying with an 8-year-old. Yeah, airlines are annoying. What's worse is that they also decide to make you feel even worse about yourself with that stupid curtain that they have separating business class from the rest of the riffraff. And I like how they always make a show of it when they're like, you know, before the plane leaves, they close that curtain like some magic is happening behind it. They don't want the peasants in economy to find out about it. On my trip, the first place I go to is Kuwait. And as George mentioned, that's where I met him, and I've known him for 15 years from there. Kuwait is fucking hot. Kuwait is fucking hot. It reminds me of being a human shawarma whenever I am there. And since you guys are metric, and I love metric, it was 49 degrees Celsius at 11 a.m. Okay? It is really, really hot. Now, what's worse is that when I went there, they're very used to me, and I'm always used to the extra security that I have to go through, especially when I'm carrying Canada's greatest exports, maple syrup. And I don't understand why you guys have to make the maple syrup come in bottles that look like alcohol, and I'm traveling to a dry country. So this time I decided to Jedi mind trick and just head towards the security and say, check my bags. And they did not. So I was out a bet with my friend. Now what's worse is that I inadvertently became a smuggler. And Kuwait, I apologize, I really did not know what I was carrying with me because I got chocolates at that shop in Lime Ridge, the purple one. I can't remember its name. Anyone? It's on, not Cadbury, no. It's a Canadian brand. And why the fuck are we putting alcohol in chocolates? Like, I'm trying to gift it to a friend. And then I always have to end up going home, which is Egypt, where I get the haircut that I'm sporting right now because it is so much cheaper than Canada, and you get a 5-star service. Now, what wasn't good is that Egypt was cold, and by cold, I mean it was 20 degrees Celsius. I'm sitting outside with my cousins, and I'm freezing, but I can't ask for a jacket because I'm living in Canada, and I'm supposed to have acclimatized to the cold weather. So I felt really out of place, and I just had to like grit my teeth and say, no, I'm not cold. It's okay. The weather is really good. This trip was great because my mom was there. My mom is an amazing person. Everyone, whenever you have your mom and you have to pack your bags, you know that mothers were born at the time that Tetris became famous. So I would just buy stuff and leave it for her to pack into the bag. And she went to town on it. She was hiding stuff. Like, I really think that the cartel should hire mothers to smuggle stuff across borders, because they are really good at packing stuff. Like, I'm finding things, and I have to call and be like, Mom, where did you put this and that? And it's very awkward when you're at the counter and they ask you, Sir, did you pack your bags yourself? And I'm like, yes. Yes, I did. Now, I think I got the light from George, but I'm going to go off on a tangent here and describe the friendship that I have had with George over the years. The George that I knew 15 years ago is both figuratively and literally different than the George that you see here today. I got to see him through all of his phases. By that, I mean he really loves Superman. And I saw him go from looking like Superman's arch enemy, Lex Luthor, to looking slightly like Superman, to looking like Superman when he found Jesus. George is a huge fan of Henry Cavill. You can almost say he'd be gay for Henry. I, on the other hand, would be gay for Ryan Reynolds. And that brings me up to another argument I constantly have with George, where he's so into his, I love Canada, I moved to Canada, this is a great place, I would go to war for this country, I would take a gun to the orange leprechaun south of the border. And I'd be like, well, I'd write a very strongly worded letter. Thank you very much, everyone. I've been Ayman Nassar.
Give it up for Ayman. First of all, fuckface, thank you. We're traveling to the States together in about 2 months. Thank you for saying that about me. They're going to be waiting at the border. Is that the Arab guy that doesn't look Arab? That's, what did I give them an Arab accent? I don't know. Yeah, like living in Kuwait is really hot. It makes you kind of, like, it gets you empathetic about the Holocaust, you know, like, gives you a hands-on experience about what the Holocaust looked like. Do you have any Germans here on the cloud? Hi, sorry, hi, just hi, yeah. So King Charles brought his side chick, the one who broke up his marriage, to Canada, and it's like the woman who destroyed your marriage is now, which gives you like a lot of, it gives you a lot of, you know, like it's good energy to know, to walk around knowing that if you persist, you too can never be queen, because she's just a queen consort. What the fuck is that, consort? Consort, whatever that means. Keep it up to, I mean, leave it to the British to come up with a word that means nothing, just like the whole thing. It's a sham. Yeah, like he brought his side chick. You know, that's like Jerry Springer meets The Crown. You know, it's like a crossover episode nobody asked for. But here we are. He did show up with his side piece. And honestly, like, you know, I always looked at Princess Diana just because of her, like, you know, her bravado, like her energy, all the good she's done, you know, sexually. Like all the great things she's done, really, for Africa, for the kids. And then you look at, what's her name? All right, whatever. And you're like, really? Her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna, her? Really? Like, the only way I would cheat on Princess Diana is with Megan Fox in 2006. That's it. And yeah, so Ayman mentioned that I'm gay for Henry Cavill. In fact, I am so gay for him, I'm willing to make the bar of soap. literally. Like I'll make the soap and then I'll drop it. I'll start with olive tree, grow it, take care of it for 2 years, cut the olives, extract the oil, and then take it to a place and make the soap and be very artisan about it, wearing an apron and like bare-chested, although nobody wants to see that, and just making the soap and then putting it in a small thing, and forming it and then like signing my name on it. And then Henry walks in, I'm like, all right. That's how gay I am. Sorry, I sprayed something. I don't care. So, are you ready for your next comic? Your next comic is somebody who I have not had the pleasure of meeting before, but I'm sure she's gonna do amazingly well. Please help me welcome Mrs. Diana.
Can we give it up for the Center for the Talking Arts, please? Oh. This is my first time here, and I'm already wondering when I'm going to come back and making plans around that. And thank you, George, for introducing me as Mrs. Diana Barbosa, because my act starts with, after a 22-year marriage and a 30-year relationship, I found myself single again. Yeah, oh, you see, I have two types of crowds, and this is my favorite. I have one type of crowd that goes, aw, but I love the type of crowd that goes, woo, or claps. Those are cool. I hate the fuckers that don't say anything at all. They're just rude. But one of the things that I found once I found myself single was that it was really scary, especially because I mentioned I'd been with my ex since I was 18 years old. By the time we separated, I was 44, and things had changed. First of all, I'd never dated an adult, because we had met when I was 14. Damn. Yeah, right? And then you hear all these scary things about dating, right? And I'm not just talking about scary because you're vulnerable or things like that, or just how do you meet people, but like real scary shit, right? Like women getting roofied, women being stalked, right? Like literally, like I look around the room and there's some, young women. You could be walking down the street, somebody comes up from behind you, picks you up and runs off. That's really something I've never worried about. I really don't think that abduction is in the cards for me. But, and I've given this a lot of thought, if it were to happen to me, this could be the man of my dreams. I want you to stay with me because I'm gonna bring you along on my little fantasy. So one day, I'm walking on James Street here in Hamilton, and somebody comes up from behind me, swoops me up, throws me over their shoulder, and begins to run. First of all, they obviously work out. Probably a non-smoker, because you're gonna need good cardio health to carry this down the street. He's more likely running towards a vehicle, which means he's got a car and a license. And if you're looking at me and thinking, wow, you mentioned you're over 40, so that should be a given, that tells me you've never been on a dating app and don't realize that that's not even the bare minimum. Now, we're going towards this vehicle, and you might be thinking, creepy white man. I'm thinking, spacious vehicle that can carry all my furniture once we move in together. Now, he's got to take me somewhere. Again, stereotypical, cabin in the woods, or cottage in Muskoka. Okay. Now, with all this being said, I want you to really think about what the hottest part of this fantasy is. Anybody? Ladies? This is a man who set a goal. And not only did he set a goal, but he made a plan. And then he probably had to make his own list with all the materials he would need and had to go shopping, probably didn't get help from his mom or his wife. And he did this all by himself. Now, I joke a lot about my experience on the dating apps and it being hell, but I do take accountability that I do play a role in my failed relationships. And in this fantasy, when I step away from being abducted, I know that when I'm moving up and down on him eventually. And what I mean is on his shoulder as he's running, not where you were thinking. That I would start to panic about this turning into yet another situationship. So I would find my lips close to his ear as we're moving down the street, and I would whisper, so, what are we? And it's at that point that he would probably take me off his shoulder, set me on the sidewalk, and continue running towards my IKEA-ready vehicle all by himself. And I would love to continue speaking to this beautiful crowd, but it's starting to get dark, and I should probably get out on the street. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was insightful. How long you been divorced for?
5 years.
5 years. Wow. No, that's.
5 years.
Great, thanks for everybody's doing the math now.
Do you have any children?
I do. They're all grown.
Are they his, yours?
They're both.
Both.
are.
Oh yeah, cool. So, but they're grown-ups, right? Yeah, so you don't have to act nice anymore.
Yeah.
You'll be like, your father's a dick. And they'll be like, yeah, Mom, I know. What's for dinner tonight?
Oh my God, that's exactly it.
You know why I know? Because my parents were never divorced. Burn. Yeah, you know, I had really good parents. Not if you're divorced, you're not a great parent. Sometimes I believe being divorced actually makes you a better parent. Because now there's a thing attached to you that you cannot just be like, all right, go over there, go to the other one, she'll feed you. It definitely makes you a better person. Yeah. I have 2 parents, like most of us. I don't know why I made that statement. Yeah. So, yeah, the king, man. You know, like that. Dude, fuck it. Like, I can't get over it. I swear. Like, every time I go there, I'm like, I'm done. No more jokes about that embalmed motherfucker. You know, and just the jokes keep... You know, he gave half of his speech in French, which is fine by me, because that's good effort on his part. You know, like, imagine somebody with terrible English like his, being English, obviously, you know. We bowed ourselves every time I come to Canada. A bit of it seeps into my blood and deeper into my heart. Nobody gives a fuck. But, you know, it's such a great effort that he put in the French part, you know? But the only thing that pissed me off about it is not him, really, like, genuinely. That's one of the few things I liked. It's the fact that I was sitting there thinking, oh, these motherfuckers in Quebec were like, we won. He's using our language. We should separate right now. I don't know, is that how Quebecois sounds? Yes. No? I don't know. Who cares, right? We don't pay attention to them. Just, they're over there alone. So we gave them a corner in Canada. It's like, go live over there. Just don't bother the rest of us. Just go on the side, just far away. You know, Lebanese people, where I'm from, we're also like people, Arabs, all other Arabs hate us for the same reason. Canadians hate Quebecois. It's not the French, it's because we're assholes, just like them. Exactly the same, word by word, play by play. Are you ready for the next comic? The next comic. Look, I'm being sincerely genuine in all my intros. Like, I'm not trying to fluff anybody. I'm not too, like, yeah, exactly. Especially you. You do look like a doll, man. This person is one of my all-time favorite people. She's one of my earliest friends in Canada, and she has the best energy I've ever met in the entire world. Please help me welcome one of my favorite comics, Faye Paulette. Just said your name wrong.
I'm Faye Paulette. I don't know if that's how I say it. Yay, Faye. Thank you, Jake. How are we doing tonight, guys? Oh my gosh, you have the best smile. You're so cute. You're welcome. Oh my God, and you sound so cute. What the hell? Oh my goodness. What a beautiful front row. That was hilarious. Oh my gosh. I was like sitting right there snapping along. Whew. Oh my goodness. We had a lovely moment with Alfonso singing Sweet Carolina. I loved that. And if you looked around, you might have noticed that it was the 4 white-looking people that were singing along, doing the ba ba ba. Because we all know that's like our favorite song. Like you put that on in a wedding and we're all like, that's my song! And then everyone's on the floor, you know, Anyway, anyone go to the dentist recently? Yeah? Good for you. What'd you get done? Just a cleaning? Nice. Do they still use the flavored stuff, or was it just like whatever? I guess I was a kid when that happened, wouldn't it? Anyone have the bubblegum flavored anything from the dentist? Horrible. That's not the point. You got your teeth cleaned. That's lovely. Anyone else been to the dentist recently? Ooh, you went. What did you get done? A filling. Nice. How was that? Was it jelly? Was it Boston cream? Was it like... Imagine that would be so bad for your teeth. And that's the plan. They want to keep bringing you back. Big dentist. Just one giant dentist. It's like an eldritch thing, and they all just anyway. Enough about big dentists. I've said too much. You may be wondering why I'm asking. I went to the dentist recently. Do you know they have an emergency room dentist? Like, they have an emergency dentist, like they have the emerge room for the hospital? Because they do. I'm not shitting ya. It's part of big dentist. No, they do. I went because I had so much pain in my mouth, and turns out I had 2 exposed nerves. Ooh, I know. It was icky, but then I had to take antibiotics, which always just knock the shit out of you, physically and metaphorically. We should clap for whoever just walked in. Oh, it's Joey. Okay, he said. He actually looks like, I don't know if anyone's had like their X-rays done at the dentist, but it makes me laugh because like one, they like go and like run behind the door and like are like boop 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 boop. But then 2, it always just affirms to me like how on the spectrum I am. Because they give you that like lead vest thing to put over you, and I'm sitting there anxious, and then they put this weighted blanket on, and I'm like, this is nice. And you know, it's nice and quiet in here. And just like, no, it's silly. The dentist feels kind of silly. So anyway, I got that tooth pulled last Friday, so it's been a week tomorrow that I've been one tooth less Paulette. It's my new name. My rapper name, maybe. But, you know, they pull it out. And I can't help but, like, I smile when I'm nervous. So I'm, like, sitting in the chair, and they start reclining it back, and I'm just like... And the, like, digenist, dear God. The hygienist, words are hard. The hygienist like looks at me. She's like, you know, you're like one of the only people I've seen smile before getting a tooth pulled out. I'm like, thanks. And after, you know, they pull the tooth, it goes numb, and you're like, well. And then she's giving me aftercare. She's like, all right, so you don't want to use a straw because you really want to avoid that sucking motion, and you don't want to spit. And I was like, oh. Okay, and she's like, and you don't really want to like, you don't want to dry sock it. You're trying to avoid something very, very painful. So she's like summarizing. She's like, so just to follow up, or like just to summarize, no spitting, no sucking. And I'm just like, well, those are the things I like. Like, there goes my weekend. Darn, gotta call my boyfriend. Ugh. He was pissed. Nah, he was asleep. Good old Greg. Good old Greg. Yeah, my boyfriend's name is Greg. We met on the dating apps, actually, back 5 years ago. It's been 5 years. He's a weirdo. I love him. Once we hit 5 years, I told him I was going to start making more jokes about getting married. And it hasn't worked yet. No, moving on from Greg, though. We were talking about the king visiting, if y'all don't remember. Not that it's been mentioned 5 times. And it reminded me, when I was a kid, my cousins and my brother and I would play what we called Claytown. And so like we would get like plasticine and we'd mold them into little people and we'd build like little diagrams of houses for them to live in and whatnot. And my brother and my cousin were the two oldest, and so they kind of controlled everything, right? And like me and my cousin were the youngest, so we're just like, okay, you guys make the rules, we'll follow. And they started creating, like one of them started a pet store, and then made it that like, oh, if someone has a store of something, you can't make that, you have to buy it from us. We're like, okay, I guess that makes sense, that's a rule. And then they started taking taxes. And every day in real life was a month in Claytown. So they would every single day tax us of our clay. And then they made a little clay terminator that would come collect taxes if you didn't give the taxes. And it was a wild time. There was also a presidency. I ran for president at one point and I won, and I was so excited. And then they assassinated me. So basically they created like a communist country. It was an interesting time. And then my aunt found out, and she's like, guys, you're not allowed trading clay anymore. Like everyone has their own clay and they keep their own clay. Anyway, I have been Faye Pollitt, or Faye with an E. Thank you so much. We're gonna bring back your lovely host, George.
Give it up for Miss Faye Paulette. Faye, you know who doesn't go to the dentist? British people. You know who's British? The fucking king! Still hung up on that. You know what? Part of his speech, he said, we share a deep and rich bond to Canada. And the only thought I had in my mind, the only person who's rich is you out of this entire thing. But so that makes it 6 times I mentioned the King, Faye. Just correcting your... Yeah. So are you ready for your next comic? This next comic I have a bit of a love and hate relationship with. He's a good friend of mine. I could call him that right now. But he always boils down my culture to food, right? Like, that's why he made. Like, he boils me down to the food. But if I mention anything about his food being fried, I'm racist. So please help me welcome, with a big round of applause, Yoel! Don't give it up for Yoel. Don't. Just. No, give it up. He did. Thank you, Yoel. Very insightful. I would download that app. By the way, I'll be your first customer. He's packing. He's leaving. Are you guys enjoying? How's it going? I promise, no more king jokes. When Mark Carney was elected, because that's the next best thing, honestly. When Mark Carney was elected, people had problems with him. You could hear it on the streets. And when I say streets, it's just Hamilton, you know. You could hear all sorts of shit in Hamilton. I mean, yeah, you could hear all sorts of shits here, right? Like, you could hear rape, drugs, all of it, right? So people were saying on the streets, like, he's not Canadian, he's British, because he's a dual citizen. I'm like, guys, relax. He just gave us free dental care. He's definitely not British. Like, British people believe that dental care is a conspiracy, you know, like, nobody knows how their teeth are still standing. They're like Stonehenge, ancient, still standing, and who the fuck knows where they're there for, you know? Like, are you ready for your next comédien? I just want to switch to French to fuck with y'all. Just introduce him in French. No, I'm joking. This next guy has changed more colors on his hair than a Pride Month parade. And you would think by his name that he's Arab, but he's not. So give it up for Joey Bomb, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep it going for Georgie. Love George, doing a great job tonight. George, your middle name is Misha, right? Michelle. Yeah, so you're literally George Michaels. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The first time I met him, he said, you should watch this show. It's called Arrested Development. It's great. It's hilarious. Turns out one of the main characters is named George Michael. Next time I saw him, he said, yeah, you should check out this 80s band called Wham! They're really great. I saw a theme materializing here. Then the next time I saw him, he said, hey, you know what you should try? Gay sex. I was on the Barton Street bus last week, and this guy wouldn't give up his seat for a pregnant woman. And that guy was me. And the pregnant woman was like 14 or 15. Yeah. You stand there and think about your life choices. I'm going to sit here and think of mine. I have a boner to pick. I don't even know I did that. I have beef with the LGBTQ plus community. I'm really angry at them. So let's go through the list. Second letter, but first in our hearts are the gays. Homophobia still exists worldwide, but not here anymore. I mean, I just saw two guys holding hands and kissing in Hamilton. It's like 10 years ago, they would have got their ass kicked. I think that's a bylaw. But no longer. But I guess it's hard being gay, so yeah, put them on the list. Of course, there's the lesbians. To me, any woman who doesn't want to fuck me is a lesbian. So as far as I'm concerned, you're all lesbians. But yeah, probably a hard life. Put them on the list. Now you got the trans. Now, I don't believe transsexuality is a mental illness, but every trans person I've ever met is mentally ill. But again, tough life. Put them on the list. Then you got your queers. I don't even know what a queer is. But I do know when I hear the word, my lizard brain wants me to kill them. So yeah, tough life. Put them on the list. My beef is with the bees. Bisexual. How are these people oppressed? You know who's oppressed? Me. First off, half the world is off to me because I'm straight. And out of the other 50%, there's a very small minority that is my target market. Fatherless alcoholics. If I was bisexual, I could get laid tonight by somebody in this club. But I'm not. I'm straight. And Jake doesn't have a liquor license. So I'm unfuckable. So please, join me. We're going to change the name. LGTQ Joey Plus. Has a nice ring to it. And I will be an ally once again. I'm getting so distracted by your hair. Yeah. I just, you know when you know when you put a plate in the microwave for too long and you really got to grind it out? You know, with a scouring powder? No, my friend. My hair is purple. Can't you see it? I don't have those gray things going on in your hair. It's natural. My mother was a bit of a slut. Yeah. She fucked a one-eyed, one-horned, flying people eater. Sure looks good to me. I don't know. What else should I do? I'm going to say one more thing. George, you didn't grow up in Canada. I've been here my whole life. I've been here 50 years. I keep wanting to call him the prince, but he is the king. But literally for 50 years, he's been a goof. We used to call him Dumbo because he's got these giant fucking ears. And every time he'd come over to Canada, we'd go, oh, he must have just flown over here with his giant ears. Yeah, we have no respect for this king. We're just waiting him to die so the little kid could take over. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a history lesson there. Anyways, I've been Joey Baum. You guys have been awesome. Bring back your host, George. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Joey.
Weird flex, man. Like, yeah, my ancestors killed, First Nations. Yours didn't. Yeah, I'm what do you call an immigrant? Where I come from, so I was born and raised Christian in the Middle East, which is a tough gig, honestly. Because, trust me, nobody likes Christians, including other Christians in the Middle East. For some reason, we're like, hey, fuck you, my Jesus, you're not yours. And I don't know. Yeah, so, but there's a lot of parallels between Canada and the Middle East I think you guys are not aware of. Just like Canada, in the Middle East, we look for minorities, and we group them, and we put them in a special box, right? And we have programs for them. You call them DEI, which is diversity, equity, inclusion. We just call it DIE, which is not an acronym for anything except just die. That's what we do to our minorities. We don't have minority problems. We kill them all. That's literally the motto in the Middle East. Anybody here from the Middle East? I know you are. You don't? Yeah. You're proud? Are you proud to be here? Canada? Yeah, of course. Yeah, see, that's the kind of Canadians we want here. Importing good Canadians. That's what Canada does. Like, the old ones are like, you killed too many people. Let's start fresh. Okay, new ones. New ones. All the colors. You're welcome. Come in. Everybody, come in. Take over. We will take over. Canada shall live. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, at this point. I want to say something about the fucking king, but I'm stopping myself at this point. I think it's a bit, I went overboard with the king thing, How can you respect a fucking guy who's 70 who calls his mom the queen, mummy? You know what I mean? You have Trump there, I don't fucking do impressions, so by all means, just skip this next part. But Trump is just we're gonna annex Canada, and the king comes here I'm gonna go to Canada. Oh, sorry, let me do it in his accent. I'm gonna go to Canada and give a speech from the throne so people can know that Canada's under my protection. And I think all he was doing is just sitting there, and Trump was watching and goes, this guy calls his mom mommy. Can't take him seriously. Like, he called his mom mommy at 70. Like, he was 70, calling his 96-year-old mommy. I think by this, like, when you're 70, your mom is 96, you just call her by her first name, Lizzie. You know what I mean? Just call her Lizzie. Hey, Liz, what's up, bitch? Yeah, called them a lot of names, the royal family. I'll refrain. Like, I want to be respectful to the head of state. Fucking idiot. Head of dicks. Can't stand the guy. Like, he pisses me off. Like, his existence does something negative to mine. You know, like, he's taking away, like, I don't know, like some soul out of me. Whenever he's speaking, is it because it's like he's taking a shit, but like putting his finger up his butt just to hold the shit, just enough so he can be snooty more. You know, like, we Canada. All right, I'm good. I'm going to therapy next week. Don't worry. Like, this will be sorted. Don't worry about it. Are you ready for the next comédien? Bonjour. The next comic is a staple of CFTA, Center for Talking Arts. He's been here since the center started years and years ago, which is 13 months. Please help me welcome to my brother, my friend, and definitely one of my trusted opinion, like I get his opinion about everything, Dexter Eco! Dexter, 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 Dexter.
What's up, everybody? Cool. Okay, so I wrote this set earlier today, and I was trying to memorize it tonight. And I got here, and I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna let George handle the video tonight while I memorize this and prepare it for you guys. And then realized he was hosting, so now this is a practice dry run. I'm gonna cold read my set, and maybe you'll be here for next week. But you get to appreciate the speed and efficiency that I spit this out in. Is that okay? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's see. So this is the first time I've ever said this out loud. Who here enjoys watching movies? Oh, what a coincidence. I love movies so much that in my early 20s, I became an actor while studying film and TV at Humber College. Then I worked as an independent video producer for 17 years. You know what that's called? One-upping. Wait, that's three-upping. That's three-upping. Speaking of three-uppers, the other night, my wife and I watched Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I love Tom Cruise. He just gets me in the nuggets. I just saved the world again. As we all know, there are places in the world right now that need saving. Before the movie started, Tom Cruise gave a real-life introduction saying that he made an authentic action film. An authentic fictional movie. And that got me thinking. What if I asked Tom Cruise to use his celebrity to potentially solve a real-world issue? I mean, we're so relatable. I'm an actor. He's an actor. I'm 5'7". He's 5'7". I'm super successful. He's doing all right. I thought it through. We'd have an authentic heart-to-heart talk over the phone about these atrocities, so much so that he wouldn't say no to my request. It would go something like this. Ring, 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 ring. Hi, is this Tom Cruise's agent? Hi, My name is Dexter Eco. I'm an actor, 5'7", and super successful. Yes, just like Tom Cruise. I'd like to propose to him an amazing film collaboration that, in all likelihood, would make Tom win an Oscar, elevate him to billionaire status, and make him taller, figuratively speaking. He is? Hi, Mr. Cruise. Hi, may I call you Tom? Hi, Tom. My name is Dexter and Hamilton. Well, you know where Toronto is? Hamilton is like the Beverly Hills of Toronto. But a city and an hour away. And I run downtown Hamilton. Really, well, I'm the events and social media manager of a very posh and popular performance venue called CFTA. Of course, you've never heard of us, because we spend millions of dollars a year to keep our elite reputation low key. Have you ever heard of Fame Mouse? Exactly. Anyway, let's talk business with a capital B. Tom, I'm your biggest fan. We are so alike. In your movies, you are the epitome of narcissism. I mean, heroism. You never kill anyone. People you work with love you, especially the ladies. And you save the world multiple times. Now, as your producer-director friend, I want the heart-on you have for humanity to transcend film and positively affect the lives of a diminishing few people who desperately want to make you the most internationally recognized actor ever. Here's my idea, a documentary. You literally save lives of these people just by showing up. I call it Mission Lawn Chair. Okay, basically, you'd go to this place with a lawn chair, sit on it, pull out binoculars, and wave to the neighbors while looking through the binoculars. Is this Hamilton? Not quite. Let me first say that I'm giving you a guaranteed Oscar-winning idea right now for free. It's so genius because it's so genius. Tom, no other celebrity in their right fucking mind would make this film because creativity is on the side of the left side of the brain, connected to the entire heart, transcendentally connected to your balls. Tom, I'm afraid you may inadvertently become a prophet. Yes, I'm excited. Details. Well, you'd come to CFTA and we'd start filming once you get off the plane, and then I'd interview you. Note, because of our elite secretive status, you would have to fund the entire project. So there's no paper trail of our involvement, including first-class flights and 5-star hotels from me and my team. You with me, Tom? Great. So when we land in Gaza, the international press will be all over you. Tom, this is very... Tom? Oh. So he hung up the phone. Obviously, I'd play this out, blah, blah, blah. Movies are an escape because that's all we will let them be. There's a real-life hero, a martyr, actually, named Aaron Bushnell, an active duty airman for the U.S. Air Force. On February 24th, 2024, at the age of 25, he made a powerful protest by himself in front of the Israeli embassy while live streaming on Twitch, where he poured gasoline over himself and ignited in flames while screaming, "Free Palestine." Thousands of soldiers left the military on conscientious objector discharge because Aaron Bushnell had the audacity to misinterpret the phrase "lighten up." Regardless, if he had survived, the Israeli embassy would have gotten him fired. That's my set. Welcome back, George.
Give it up for Dexter! Yeah, speaking about that protest, we have some amazing like grilled meat behind the bar. It's in bad taste, the joke, but I don't regret it. How are you guys enjoying your night? Good. Are you feeling like, oh my god, like this is the best thing I've done on a Thursday? Because what else you're gonna do in fucking Hamilton? Watch the King's speech? I'm sorry, I'm stopping. Enough. Done. We're locking it in a box and putting it under the throne. I have a very sad announcement to make. We have one more comic left. That's it. And then we are gone. We are dead. We vanish. There isn't? There's somebody who wrote a name. Is it Yoel writing down names? Yeah. Yoel always does that. He adds names, you know, like he put next to Dexter's name, Dexter Eco, he put ecosystem. That's Yoel, ladies and gentlemen. Just give him a round of applause. So with that, I think we'll talk, me and you, a bit. Just like for a couple of minutes. So how are you feeling lately? Everything all right? How are you feeling, ma'am? Oh, jeez. Like, it's not therapy. Just, yeah. Good, in general. What do you do in life?
I teach and I'm an actor.
Wow, so you picked two careers that make no money. Nice. Yes, I'm proud of you. Have I seen you in anything? Except here? No?
I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, you've been in movies. Nice, nice. Any famous people you know?
In the movies?
Other than Dexter. Oh, wow. I love her. I love her. She's a sweet lady. I met some famous people in my day. It's called the Hamilton Police. Like, stop mentioning the king, fucker. Like, cannot do that. We're sovereign. Whatever the fuck that means. Yeah. So that was our night. I want to thank you all for traveling from Milton. You're so brave. Very unfortunate timing, brother. Like, he just showed up. Do you want to lock up? What, give you the keys? Or you want to go up? Yeah? All right, give it up for... I don't have... Joseph. I know. Joseph, straight from the outside onto the stage. Which is how the king made his speech.
Wow, I am so underprepared right now. Oh, are you okay? He's good. Oh, that was planned. Oh my God, I missed the entire night. How did it go? Yeah, okay. Hopefully I finish it up. I was the last guy now. This is it. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Well, it's just nice to be out of the house because we have this neighbor who lives across the street from us, who is the worst person in the world. You know, one of these people. She's terrorized everybody in the neighborhood, and she lives in like her own reality. She's very narcissistic. You can't reason with her. And something happened last night. This is totally true. Happened last night that illustrates this perfectly. We have on our security camera at 3:30 in the morning. We have a video of her kicking a skunk. Who kicks a skunk? And it was like, first of all, what are you doing up at 3:30 in the morning? Kicking a skunk. Like you would be like, you might ask, oh, was she being attacked? No, the skunk was in the middle of the road eating garbage. She went out of her way to kick the skunk. I couldn't believe it. Like, and she's like one of these people, like if you asked her, like, hey, why did you kick a skunk? She'd be like, oh, well, it was threatening me. And I'm like, even if that were true, it's a skunk. Like, you know they do that thing where they spray shit at you? Just get in your house, bitch. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, now I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, well, did she get sprayed? No. So it's actually good research because you can assault a skunk and maybe nothing happens. Good to know. But what did happen, she kicked it. The skunk was like, what the fuck? just minding my own business. And then started to charge at her a bit. She retreated. It stopped and was like, do I go on wasting my time with this piece of trash or go back to eating garbage? It took the high road. Ate some garbage. Now, I do know with this piece of footage, if I put it online, it would go viral. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't want that heat on my neighborhood, on my friends and my family. And also I know she would get to the news and twist it up a little bit. I can see the BuzzFeed headline right now. Crazy skunk lady blames neighbors for hiring skunk to antagonize her. And I'd hired it again. I would. Fucking, she's terrible. Anyway, I didn't come here to tell you that. Let me think. I was in, anybody been to Windsor? Anybody been to Windsor here? Yeah, okay. So I was in Windsor last week for 3 days. I went to film a full video about the Windsor pizza. I don't know, Windsor got a very big pizza culture, if you didn't know. They claim that their pizza is the best pizza in the world. In the world, not just Canada, the world. Now, the signature toppings on the Windsor pizza, there's 4 of them, 2 of which are shredded pepperoni, and canned mushrooms. I don't know if you know that, canned mushrooms. I'll be honest, it just sounds like somebody is running out of ingredients. It's like, sir, we only have a few pepperonis left. Cut them up, spread them around. But we have no more mushrooms. Use the canned ones we laughed about when we realized it wasn't the soup. Okay, all right. So we're putting them on, like, oh God, I don't know if this is gonna work. They baked it up, they tried it, they're like, well, this is the best pizza in the world, actually. We did it, everybody, we did it. Also, they call it Windsor Essex. Windsor Essex. Essex is like the county. It's kind of a weird name. How do they land on that? You know, I thought there's a lot of Italians in Windsor. And I'm like, wonder, when they settled and they wanted to start a family, they're like, oh, this is a nicer place to have a sex. Anyways, that's my time. Thank you so much.
That was our show for tonight. We thank you sincerely for coming. Check us out every Thursday. We have an open mic. Next Friday, we have a storytelling open mic, which is a fantastic show, honestly speaking. You can go behind the bar, get your beef patties, your kafta, your drinks, blah, blah, blah. You're coming from Mississauga. Yeah, nobody cares. And guys, I want to leave you with this. If you have somebody you love in your life, and you haven't talked to them in so long, call them. Tell them you love them. All I'm saying is, call your mommy. I've been George. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.